and right to left for Steve Shepherd. He didn't see the right to left, and he didn't see the quick. However, knocks that one in, and relieved in the end to make a 5. So 3 men over par, 1 to go. And it could well be Adam Riley who's the only man to make 4 at the first. He's not the only man to make 4 at the first. Thankfully holds the one back. Look how far past that went. So all 4 players, as they were, all +1.
This is our second playoff hole. It is stroke index 7. Mr. Steve Shepherd and Mr. Jeremy Perry will be receiving it 1 shot each. First to the tee, Mr. Craig Blackford.
Well, honours even after all 4 men bogeyed the first hole. This is a much tougher affair, over 400 yards, and the breeze kicking up. Darkening clouds, but a huge drop down to the fairway.
Next to the tee, Mr. Steve Shepherd.
Almost boxing styly, that introduction. Applause from the top. And that one's scampering down the hill into the rough on the right hand side.
Next to the tee, Mr. Adam Riley.
Lowest handicap amongst the 4. Adam Riley's off 7. And a very popular spot.
And finally to the tee, Mr. Jeremy Perry.
Jez Perry alongside Steve Shepherd with a shot. Well, finding the fairway would be a real advantage. And look at Jez Perry. That just hangs on, which it won't because of the anti-camber. It would have been nice from the short stuff. Now he's the same as everybody else. That gives you an idea how slopey it is here at Breadsall Priory. Very up and down dale and hanging lies for your second. Certainly one here for Riley. That is a long way right of target and a small target where the flag's cut. Where that hole is, it'll be a tough pitch. Shepherd second.
Sorry, Anthony.
So I'm bouncing and bounding its way. It's going to turn right towards the hole. It's going to scamper and pick up pace here. It finds its way onto the lawn. Now it needs to settle. You've got half an hour to talk to it before it stops running. Whoa there. Great shot. And he has a stroke.
Well done, good shot.
Perry unlucky not to stay on the fairway. Again, going to use the ground as his friend. But don't go too far left. You end up behind that tree. And that's where he could be. Craig Blackford. Last to go. 8 handicapper. Just misses out on a stroke here. So he's got to do it gross and on his own. And this is very good indeed. Now be right. Well, it's a fantastic approach. It really is. Pretty much as good as he could have done. Well, the players making their way down this significant hill and slope towards the green. Different agendas though. Riley must get up and down, you would think, a +1. That's going to be awkward from there. He's hoping the wall of death will bring it around, but I'm not sure nature can do that much. Perry with tree troubles. And very fast from here once it hits the deck. Needs to stop. And it will not stop. That's in a very awkward spot again. All calls from the second shot. Out of position here at the Breadsall and you are toast. Riley for par. Played it well. Played it very well. Very unlucky. Good as he could have done, but it's another bogey, so he goes to +2 with the par 5 18th to come. Not out of it. Perry's par attempt. Too well to make a bogey. A low scuddler. Well, he can hold that for his bogey 5. Shepherd, third. with a stroke. I mean, this could be a clincher. Well, it's going to be a 4-net 3, so back to level par. That will lead. Maybe not on his own, but it will lead, going with down the last hole, the par 5. What about Craig Blackford and his birdie attempt? No stroke there for Craig. Makes a 4, so remains at +1. So we will have a lone leader. Perry's 5th. He has a shot. And he makes it. So 1 at +2, 2 at +1, and one man at level par, Steve Shepherd, will have the lead with 1 hole to play.
The perfect gentleman's playground. The perfect gentleman's playground.
Four men, 3 holes, 1 champion, and this is it. It's all about the last hole, this par 5. Twisting and turning and tricky. It's reachable because it's not very long, but there's a lot of problems, particularly up by the green, where it's very severe with that pin cut right on top of that last level.
First to the tee, Mr. Steve Shepherd.
Here's Steve. Sounded good. Sounded very good. And that's catapulted down the fairway, miles down.
Next to the tee, Mr. Craig Blackford.
1 shot back, Craig Blackford, still all to play for. And it's long.
Next to the tee, Mr. Jeremy Perry.
Jez Perry. Could do with a birdie here. That one on the slide. How far right will it go? The answer is a long way right. It's in there somewhere.
Next to the tee, Mr. Adam Riley.
Two shots back. Hit the low banana fade. It may not stay on the fairway, this one, but just off here on the right hand side. That's okay. Breeze very much across the hole. Hard left to right wind. Now this is where Jez Perry finished his second, going with a wood, having a gamble. And played a low chip out with a wood. That's a pretty unusual technique. And here's his third. Coming in rapid succession now. So they're in 3. Hanging live for his 4th. Not ideal. Riley having a pop, fairway wood. He's got to. got to gamble now. That's low and left out the heel, and that won't run through the rough. Had to just hope for a miracle there. Shepherd, though, at level. He's leading. Oh no, that's going miles left. Out of the way. That's going to be blocked out potentially. Nervous moments for Steve Shepherd. Blackford also with a wood. One behind chasing. Well, it's better direction. And bouncing its way towards the green and finishing just off the back edge. It's a marvellous shot. That potentially could be a championship winning shot. Maybe. As the clouds start to lift a little bit, the threat from earlier on has gone. Riley's third.
Get a good kick.
Well, it got a good kick and a firm kick. It will come down from there. He'll take that. If it stops, crampons.
Well done, good shot, son.
Shepherd. One shot ahead. Tree in the way. Up and over the top. And that's hit the upslope. And that's the most perfect approach from there. He couldn't do that if he'd have stood there all day long. If he tried. Unbelievable shot. Perry's fourth is out of the socket. To the right. Well, maybe done him a slight disservice there. An obtuse angle with the camera. Got to get myself out of it somehow. Blackford through the back in 2 hits and putting. Just trickles over the top and past the hole in 3. It is a par 5, but look how quick this green is. There's really not much else he could have done from there. Shake of the head, and we now look at the par putt of Perry. No strokes for anyone on this par 5 closer. So he's gone. +2 in the end for Jez. Riley for the birdie, which would put him +1. Up the hill, hit it. Good night, Vienna. Even more so now. It's between 2 men. Shepherd's birdie attempt. You can understand the putt really when he's got the slight lead. He's going to post a 5 and pose a question. Blackford to tie. Has to hole this for the birdie. Unlucky. It's unlucky. That means we have a champion. A brand new champion at a brand new venue for 2014. And his name is going to be Steve Shepherd. If he can conjure this one in from a foot. And he just about can. So a great win for Steve Shepherd, and congratulations. Lovely kiss from his wife, who obviously did a sterling job on the bag. It's a team win and a day they'll never forget.
Well, we're almost there. Just 3 regional championships left before we find out our lineup for the World Championship final at Saint Pierre in Wales. After that, we still have the pairs competition, the Trilby 2s, and the glory of the Rogues Gallery Special, every Monday night on Sky Sports. Time to hear now from the champion of Derbyshire, Steve Shepherd.
Can't believe it, just out the blue, completely out the blue. Just entered it for some fun, and just can't believe I've won it. You know, there's some good players here, but the greens suited me, I think. They were just so fast, and I like fast greens, and I had my putting boots on today. So there was a lot of long putts went in, so that's what made the difference.
Congratulations to Steve and to our shot of the day winner, John Harrison, who showed exactly how to hit the tricky greens at Breadsall and make the ball behave. Now, let's find out who are this week's Rogues in the Gallery. We start with Terry Smith on the 9th, standing like a lumberjack, playing like an atterjack. Also on the 9th, Josh Emerton with this week's Who'd Be a Cameraman entry, bouncing off the tripod leg. Easy there, Josh. Tripods are expensive. Now, as we've already seen, Wayne Scott was far from the only player to struggle with the 2 tiers on the 18th green, but he impressed us by managing to return the ball to the exact blade of grass from where he'd originally launched it. That's precision golf, Wayne. Taxi for Kevin Thompson. You can pick him up on the 5th. OK, we know that Michael Hocknell is well out of position on the 12th, and we know he hit a tree, but we're not sure where his ball ended up. Luckily, he's marking it so we can all see how badly he's playing. When Neil Morley's approach to the 18th comes down, we'll tell you where it lands. If it ever does. It's still up there somewhere. And finally, let's all enjoy the committed Sisyphean determination of Tim Johnson on the 18th. First he leaves the bunker, crosses the green and ends up on the bank. Then he chips off the bank, past the hole, and goes back into the bunker from whence he came. Then he leaves the bunker, crosses the green and ends up on the bank again, before the ball decides to save him the effort of walking across the green and heads like a faithful hound returning back to his master's feet into the fateful and inescapable bunker. I think it's time to knock it on the head, Tim, don't you? Here's William with his thoughts on the playoff.
A lot of nerves at that first tee, definitely. 4 bogeys. Wasn't that bad? It's a tough hole, that. It's, end of the day, people tired, very nervous, adrenaline pumping, quite inexperienced golfers on the hole, inexperienced Trilby-torians. And I had my money on Craig. It's the first time I've lost this year. I had my money on Craig because he's got that 5-6 years experience now of it. And yeah, I think they got settled down after the first hole. 4 bogeys put everyone into contention for the next hole, and the next hole broke them all up. That was a hard hole.
Next week, it's more lush countryside as the tour moves to the Forest of Arden for the Championship of Warwickshire. Till then, why not take a peek at www.williamhunttrilbytour.com to discover more about the Trilby Tour. See you next week.
So she's not happy you're here?
No.
What if you take home the trophy? Will she be happy then?
Hopefully I'll get a little bit better than a hug.
Oh.
William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour. The perfect gentleman's playground.